Welcome to Countryside Adventures. We have got a set of 24-inch Lippert scissor jacks that we're going to put on our Jayco 174BH that we have dubbed Outpost 174. Now, the 174BH did not come with scissor jacks on the front, only on the rear. So we're going to go ahead and install a set of scissor jacks on the front. So let's get started. All right, so we got the box opened up, and you can see that we have got multiple mounting locations for the scissor jacks, and it did come with a bag of hardware, and that hardware actually has for a flathead screwdriver or a socket. If you can absolutely use a socket, I have a feeling that a flathead wouldn't last long on this. Now, there are some thread cutting locations on the end of these bolts, as you can see. So it looks like we're mainly going to have to start a pilot hole. So we're going to go grab a drill and a drill bit so we can get our pilot hole started and go from there. So once we get our location figured out, we'll go ahead and use this as a template so we can mark our holes. Then we'll go ahead and drill our pilot hole, and we should be good to go ahead and mount up with the supplied hardware. All right, so we're just going to hold it up here like this and mark our holes. Obviously, you can run the scissor jack down, but down here on the end, I did want to have an idea of where the nut on the end to run the scissor jack up and down was going to land, and just make sure that it was somewhat symmetrical or visually like normal with the rear of it. So we look pretty good. So we're just going to go ahead and mark this square tubing, and we'll go ahead and get our holes drilled out. All right, you can see our holes marked there and there. So we are going to go ahead and drill this out. All right, just make sure when you do this that you got a good sharp bit, because man, it was a little bit of struggle. We had one of our bits was a little bit dull, but you can see we got our hole. You can see our bolt lines right up against it. And so what we're going to do before we actually mount the scissor jack, we're just going to go ahead and start our threads. So we're going to run this in and out just to make sure that it goes smoothly before we get the actual scissor jack up in the way. Now over here. We should be good to mount. There we go. So we got our bolts mounted up. If you want to get really particular, you could go ahead and put a little protective primer or paint on it. So we may do that a little bit down the road. Right now, we just want to make sure that everything's going to function. So that's our two bolts in it. So you can see the gear mechanism moving there. But as far as the actual mounting brace, it's as solid as it gets. So I'm not too overly concerned about that. So that's all mounted up against the frame rail. And again, as far as protection goes, you can see that these things are not made like to be durable whatsoever. You can see like the surface rust everywhere. So not the end of the world. We can deal with that. We'll fix that as we go. This thing's going to need a little maintenance anyway. And there we go. We got our bolts on both sides. So you can see we are mounted up to the frame there. And if we go to the other side, we've got our bolts mounted up there. So that is our 24-inch scissor stabilizer jack. There we go. And that is a quick and simple install of the Lippert 24-inch scissor jacks. You can see that the nut sticks out just a little bit past the side of the camper, not a big deal. And I think the rear one's probably tucked in just a little bit more, but it works out. They look very symmetrical. Doesn't look out of place at all. You can see this is an extremely simple install. So I appreciate you watching. Hope you got some good information out of this video. If you have, you know the deal. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And as always, we'll see you outdoors.